Hey, this is Dean from WiseBytesTV, where business, marketing, and culture collide. And today we're going to be talking about the basics, like I have basics in capital letters, of being an influencer. This is part one of a 10-part series, so don't troll me if this is too generic, because we have to start somewhere. So today we're going to quickly go through 5 things to consider and 5 things to learn. But let's start with apples. One of the things that got me interested in courses and webinars, and there's a bunch of different ways people are influencers. They hawk products on Instagram or Facebook and, TikTok, so be it. But one of the things that got me interested in webinars and courses was reading about Jessica Merchant. She started courses. Her first course was on how to make candy apples. And basically she had this idea. She went to people and, figured out, how to make a course, and she kind of stumbled through it. And it was wildly successful. And so since then, she is a multi-million-dollar course creator. She has dozens of different courses. She's learned how to do it and how to market it. And we'll reference her a couple times in our list of 5 things to consider and 5 things to learn. Because she embodies a lot of that, and it's for me, it's motivational, and I think it's a good way to illustrate how to be successful. Let's start with 5 things to consider, right? Number 1 is identify your niche. Let's go back to apples. She does a lot of baking courses and that sort of thing, and it's for both individuals like myself. If I wanted to learn how to bake something, which I don't know if there's any course that could help me out, or it's for restaurants that want to learn how to bake. Let's go back to candy apples. They want to sell candy apples, so she teaches them how to, do it at scale and, be profitable and sell them, and of course, so they taste good. So the thing is, you want to identify your niche, and there's something that we have another podcast on. It's called Niche Down. You want to find something and niche down, because you don't want to be all things to all people. So find your niche. All right, the next is engage with the audience, right? Just mark this down as your list. When you start making videos, podcasts, whatever it may be, posts, people are going to comment, and whatever, you're not going to get a million of them on day one, but it's going to start building up. You got to make sure you comment, and you know how to, and you don't want to be defensive, because sometimes people are mean the way that they say something like, why are you doing this? And you know what? Well, maybe they're mean, but they might have a good point. Like maybe something needs to be improved. So anyway, you want to however it may be, you want to find that. And after you find something that works for you, is start being consistent. There's a reason people order a Big Mac all over the world at McDonald's, because they know what they're going to get. There's a comfort to that, and they're going to spend their dollars. They're going to get exactly what they expect. And so there's a real big marketing and engagement element to being consistent. All right, so we talked about 5 things to consider before you start, or if you've started already, things to to adopt and change. So the other thing is 5 things to learn, and number 1 is master video editing skills, and it's one of the things that puts people off from doing this sort of thing, is because, well, I don't know how to market, I don't know how to do that, I don't know how to do that. But when they actually sit down and get into it and do the editing, they're overwhelmed. There's some software out there that's really awesome, and we have an editor, so she's awesome, and that's great. But she knows her stuff. And so for me, when I first started doing it, I was using Canva. Not because it's robust or the most powerful, but because it was easy and I mastered it, and I could get a polished, finished product without spending, 10 times the amount of time editing than I did on recording something. So however you do it, you want to master your editing skills. Find a tool. Canva's great. I recommend it. And then master it and move on. It's going to make everything else easier. All right, so we're going to move on to number 2 of things you should learn is SEO. Whether it be for YouTube, for your website, for your podcast, is you want to master SEO, because you think it might not make that big a difference. And when you post something, a blog, tomorrow it's not. But you know what? You do 2 a week, and you're 4, and then you have 8, and then you have 16, you have 32, and all of a sudden you have these blogs. If you're not setting that up properly to, for SEO, you're really losing tons of eyeballs on your blogs or videos, which are going to link to the other. So it's this circular marketing. You want one thing to link to the next. And at a base level, you want to prioritize and learn SEO. All right, the next thing that you want to learn is a deeper level of marketing and promotion, because SEO is sort of a passive way of marketing, but you want to actively introduction into that module. And at first, I just put it up there. I didn't put any production value into it, like Josh and I do for other stuff. And so I was like, oh my God, I need to take my own advice. So it didn't take long. Again, go back to Canva, phenomenal for this. So I started making, cover art for, so when you scroll through the videos, it's appealing. And I watched the usage go up, right? This isn't for the world to come watch. It's just for my students that sign up. But no matter what they tell me when we have one-on-ones, they're not watching the videos as much as I'd like because I look at the statistics. But when I added the cover art, they started watching it because, I'm not talking about a 2-hour video I got. There's a 3-4 minute video. It was an appealing cover art. They click on it, boom, they're in it and they watched it. And it, everybody wins at that point. All right, so that was our 5 things that you should consider and our 5 things that you need to learn in Volume 1 of How to Be an Influencer. And for those who are looking for deeper, more tangible, tactical things that you can do, Volume 2 and 3 are on the way, and we start getting into the specifics so you can help, so we can help you develop and promote better content. Hey, thanks. This is Dean from WiseBytesTV. Like and subscribe, and we'll talk to you soon.